My sister cut my hair while I slept in front of her friends, so my lawyer served her at church and she lost custody of her children forever. Welcome back, family. If you haven't already, subscribe and say hi in the comments. We'd love to know where you're watching from. With that, let's continue today's story. I woke up to laughter. Not the kind that makes you smile, but the cruel, sharp kind that cuts through your sleep like broken glass. My head felt lighter somehow wrong. I reached up and my fingers found nothing but jagged edges where my hair should have been. Oh my God, she's awake. My sister Tamara's voice rang out, followed by more cackling from her friends sprawled across my living room floor. I stumbled to the bathroom, my heart already knowing what my eyes refused to believe. 17 inches of my natural hair. Gone. Butchered. Uneven chunks stuck out at odd angles, some spots cut down to 2 inches. Others slightly longer, creating a nightmare landscape on my scalp. I'd been growing it for 6 years after my big chop, nursing every coil with shea butter and patience. It's just hair, Nia. Damn, why you always so dramatic? Tamara stood in the doorway, phone in hand, still recording. Besides, you looked better with short hair anyway. I did you a favor. My hands shook as I touched the destruction. Scissors lay on my nightstand, my own scissors from my desk drawer. She'd crept into my room while I slept on my own couch after giving her a place to stay. After her 3rd eviction this year, I'd opened my home because she had those 2 babies and nowhere else to go. Get out, I whispered. What? Get. My house. My voice cracked, but my resolve didn't. Now. Tamara always had a talent for destruction dressed up as jokes. When we were kids, she accidentally ruined my prom dress with bleach 2 days before the dance. In college, she told my boyfriend I was cheating when I wasn't. He left without asking my side. Last year, she borrowed my car and returned it with a cracked windshield and empty gas tank, laughing about how I was too uptight about material things. But I kept letting her back in. Mama raised us to stick together after Daddy left, and Tamara knew exactly which guilt buttons to push. You got a good job, a nice place. What's family for if not to help each other? She'd say, always right before asking for money, a place to crash, or just one more favor. This time felt different. This was violence while I was vulnerable, sleeping. And she'd made it entertainment for her friends, who I later learned had been staying in my apartment for 3 days without my knowledge, eating my food, using my utilities. I called my best friend Jordan at 6 a.m. I need a lawyer. Nia? What happened? When I sent her the photo, she gasped. Oh hell no. That's assault. That's literally assault and battery. It's just hair though, right? People will think I'm overreacting. Stop. Right now, stop that thinking. She violated your body while you slept. She caused you physical harm for entertainment. And she recorded it, which means she knew it was wrong and didn't care. This isn't about hair, Nia. This is about respect, boundaries, and basic human decency. Jordan's words unlocked something inside me. He was right. Tamara posted the video. Of course she did. Gave my uptight sister a makeover, #sisterly love, #she looks better now, #dramatic. By Monday morning it had 15,000 views. By Tuesday afternoon 50,000. People tagged me in shares, some laughing, others horrified. My coworkers saw it. My boss saw it. The senior partners at the consulting firm where I just made junior analyst saw it. The comments section was a war zone. This is assault, not funny. She's being dramatic, it's just hair. As a black woman, you do not touch another black woman's natural hair. Period. Family pranks are the best. I'd press charges so fast. I sat in my car during lunch break, crying in the parking garage. I'd called in sick that morning, unable to face anyone. My manager, Patricia, had sent a kind text. Take the time you need. When you're ready, we support you. But it was the text from Mama that broke me. Nia baby, I saw what happened. Tamara says you're overreacting and threatening to kick her out with nowhere to go. Please don't tear this family apart over vanity. Your hair will grow back. But family is forever. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. The old Nia would have apologized, would have swallowed the pain to keep peace. Would have let Tamara stay, would have pretended everything was fine while dying inside. Instead, I called Jordan's lawyer friend, Marcus Miller. I want to press charges. Criminal and civil. Everything she did, I want consequences. Good, he said firmly. Let's make this right. Come to my office tomorrow at 9. Marcus Miller's office smelled like leather and old books. He was younger than I expected, maybe early 30s, with kind eyes that sharpened when he reviewed the evidence. Jordan sat beside me, her hand squeezing mine when my voice shook. She entered your bedroom without permission while you were sleeping and unconscious, Marcus said, typing notes. She used scissors, a bladed instrument, on your body. She caused physical harm. She filmed it without consent, shared it publicly without consent, and you've documented monetary damages for attempting to fix the cut. That's assault, battery, potentially harassment and invasion of privacy. Will people think I'm being petty? I asked quietly. Hair. It grows back. Marcus looked up sharply. Miss Thompson, if someone tattooed you while you slept, would it matter that tattoos can be removed? If they shaved your eyebrows, would it matter that they grow back? Your sister violated your bodily autonomy. The law recognizes cutting someone's hair without consent as battery. This is serious. He pulled up case files. A woman in Texas got 3 years probation for cutting her daughter's hair during a custody dispute. A man in Ohio faced assault charges for forcibly cutting his wife's hair. This is not petty. I showed him everything. The video, screenshots of Tamar's post in the comments, photos of my destroyed hair, receipts from the emergency salon visit that cost $300 for them to even out the damage into a teeny-weeny afro. My hair that had been past my shoulders was now barely 2 inches all over. I also found something else, I said, voice trembling. I went through my bank statements. She's been using my debit card information. Small charges I didn't notice. Delivery apps, her subscriptions, her kids' school photos. Marcus leaned forward. That's identity theft and fraud. How much total? About $2,000 over 6 months. His expression hardened. We're filing everything. Tamara showed up at my job the next day. Security called me to the lobby where she stood with both kids, Jaden 5 and Malia 3. They looked tired and confused. My heart clenched seeing them, but I kept my face neutral. Nia, please. We need to talk. She had tears in her eyes, but I'd seen her manufacture tears before when she needed something. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't think you'd actually kick me out. The kids miss their auntie. You brought them here to manipulate me. No. I brought them because we're sleeping in my car. Is that what you want? Your niece and nephew homeless because you can't take a joke. People were staring. I could feel judgment radiating from the receptionist, from the partners walking past. I was the mean aunt making babies homeless over hair. You did this to yourself, Tamara. You assaulted me, stole from me, and showed zero remorse. You posted it online for laughs. I took it down. It's gone. She thrust her phone at me. And I'll pay you back every penny, I swear. Just let us come back. Please. I'm your sister. Jordan appeared from the elevator, striding across the lobby in her power suit. Miss Thompson is done speaking with you. You've been served notice of a restraining order hearing. Any further contact will be documented. Tamara's face twisted. You turned my own sister against me, Jordan? After everything our family did for you growing up. Your family was kind. You specifically were always cruel. Now leave before I call the police myself. Jordan's voice could have cut steel. Tamara scooped up the kids and turned to leave, but not before shouting loud enough for everyone to hear. Fine. When those babies are sleeping in a shelter, remember you did this. Mama called that night. I almost didn't answer, but old habits die hard. Nia Simone Thompson, what is wrong with you? Her voice carried that special tone that used to make me fold immediately as a child. Lawyers? Restraining orders? Your own blood. Mama, did you see what she did? I saw you acting vindictive over something that'll grow back. You know Tamara struggles. You know she's got those babies and no man to help her. And you, with your fancy job and your nice apartment, you can't show a little grace. Something in my chest cracked. Grace? Mama, she cut my hair while I slept. She violated me. She stole money from me. She showed no remorse, she laughed about it online. She made a mistake. We all make mistakes. But family forgives. Or did that fancy job teach you you're too good for your own people now? There was the accusation I'd been dodging my whole life. Too educated, too proper, too successful meant too white, meant traitor to the family, meant forgetting where I came from. I didn't forget anything, Mama. I remember every time Tamara destroyed something I loved and you told me to be the bigger person. I remember lending her money I never got back. I remember her telling my ex I cheated when I didn't, and you said I should have been more understanding of her jealousy. I remember everything. And I'm done remembering alone. So you'd rather be right than have a family? I'd rather have a family that doesn't violate me and call it love. My voice broke. Why don't you ever ask her to be better? Why is it always me who has to bend? Mama was quiet for a long moment. Because you're strong enough to. Tamara's not like you, Nia. She needs more help. Then help her, Mama. But I can't be her doormat anymore. Marcus called me 3 days before the hearing with news that made my blood run cold. Nia, we need to meet. No. There's something you need to see before we go to court. In his office, he spread out documents like he was revealing a crime scene. I ran a background check on your sister as part of building our case. Did you know she has 2 open CPS cases? My heart stopped. What? One from last year. Neighbors reported the children left alone for hours. Another from 3 months ago. Emergency room visit for Malia with suspicious bruising. Both cases are still under investigation. I felt sick. I didn't know. He never told me. I mean, I knew she wasn't the most attentive mother, but there's more. Marcus slid over more papers. She's been evicted from 6 places in 3 years, not 3 like she told you. She owes back rent totaling $14,000. She has 4 different bench warrants for unpaid traffic tickets and failure to appear in court. And Nia, he paused, his expression grave. Her ex-boyfriend Jaden's father filed for emergency custody 2 months ago citing her drug use and neglect. The room spun. Drugs. The filing alleges marijuana and pills. It's not adjudicated yet, but combined with everything else. He looked at me carefully. When you let her stay with you, you became a potential placement option in CPS's eyes. If they knew she was there, they might have been doing wellness checks. They might have been watching my home? I whispered. My career could have been affected if... Exactly. You had a right to know what you were taking on. She hid her situation and used your stability as a shield. Marcus leaned back. This changes our strategy. The assault case is still solid, but now we have a bigger picture of someone who's dangerous, not just careless. I thought of Jaden and Malia's tired little faces. Those babies. I went to Mama's house that Sunday. Tamara's car was in the driveway. She'd clearly run back home after I kicked her out. The house I grew up in felt smaller now, or maybe I'd just grown too big for spaces that required me to shrink. Mama answered the door, surprise flickering across her face. Nia? We weren't expecting. I know about the CPS cases. Both of them. I walked past her into the living room where Tamara sat on the couch, phone in hand. She looked up, eyes widening. I know about the 6 evictions, the warrants, the custody battle. I know everything you didn't tell me. Tamara's face went through several expressions, shock, fear, anger, before settling on defiance. So, what, you hired a private investigator now? You that pressed about some hair? You put me at risk. You brought your CPS cases into my home without warning me. Do you understand I could have lost my career? My security clearance was being processed. 1 wellness check at my address with your cases attached and I'd be done. Oh please, always about your precious career. Yes. I exploded. My career that I worked my ass off for. That I got scholarships and student loans and worked 2 jobs through college for. That I built from nothing because nobody handed me anything. My career that you've asked to borrow money from 50 times. That career. Mama stepped between us. Nia, lower your voice. The neighbors. I don't care about the neighbors, Mama. I care that my sister endangered me and you're still defending her. I turned to Tamara, tears streaming now. Those babies, Tam. Those beautiful babies. What's happening to them? For the first time, Tamara's mask cracked. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying my best. Your best is leaving them alone for hours? Your best is whatever gave Malia those bruises. I didn't hurt her. She fell. Then why didn't you tell me CPS was involved? Why hide it unless you knew it was bad? Marcus advised against it, but I needed to see it through my way first. I found out Tamara would be at Greater Emmanuel Baptist that Sunday. Mama had mentioned it, trying to paint Tamara as reformed and church-going, worthy of my forgiveness. I arrived early, sitting in the back pew in a navy dress and the wig I'd been wearing to cover my butchered hair. The church was packed, the choir warming up, the energy building for worship. I saw Mama enter with Tamara and the kids. Jaden wore a little suit, Malia a pink dress with ribbons. They looked beautiful. They looked loved, at least in this moment in public. The service began. Songs of redemption and grace filled the sanctuary. Pastor Williams preached about forgiveness, about how God calls us to mercy. I felt eyes on me throughout, members of the congregation who'd known me since I was Jaden's age, watching to see if I'd break, if I'd forgive, if I'd be the bigger person again. Then during the offering, Marcus walked down the center aisle in a dark suit, carrying a manila folder. The congregation stirred, sensing something irregular. He stopped at Tamara's pew. "Tamara Williams?" he said clearly, his voice carrying in the suddenly quiet church. She looked up, confused. "Yes. You've been served." He handed her the papers. "You're being sued for assault and battery, theft, fraud, invasion of privacy and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Court date is on the documents. Have a blessed day." The sanctuary erupted in whispers. Tamara's face went from confusion to horror to rage in seconds. She stood up, papers falling. "You did this? Here? In the Lord's house?" I stood too, voice steady despite my shaking hands. "You violated me in my house where I should have been safest. You made a spectacle of my pain online for the world. This is just truth coming to light. In God's house seems appropriate." Pastor Williams tried to restore order, but the damage was done. 2 weeks later, I received a subpoena I never saw coming. Jaden and Malia's father, Damon, had filed for emergency custody, and I was called as a witness. CPS had been building a case, using my assault report as additional evidence of Tamara's instability and poor judgment. The courtroom was sterile and cold. Damon sat with his lawyer, looking older than the 27 he was, worry etched deep in his features. Tamara sat across with a public defender who looked overwhelmed. Mama sat behind Tamara, glaring at me when I entered. I took the stand, hand on the Bible, and swore to tell the truth. "Miss Thompson," Damon's lawyer began, "you're the children's aunt, correct? And your sister stayed with you recently?" "Yes." "Can you describe the incident that led to you filing assault charges?" I told the story, waking up to laughter and destruction, the video, the theft, the realization that I'd been harboring someone who was hiding the truth about her children's well-being. "Did you ever witness your sister being neglectful or harmful to the children?" I hesitated. This was the line. Once crossed, there was no going back. I saw her prioritize her phone and her friends over the children consistently. I saw her lose patience quickly, yelling at Jaden for normal 5-year-old behavior. I saw the kids eating cereal for dinner multiple nights because she didn't cook. And when I offered to help, she'd get defensive and tell me I wasn't a parent, so I didn't understand. Mama let out a small sound behind me. I didn't look back. "Were you aware of CPS involvement?" "No." She hid it from me. "If I'd known, I would have," my voice cracked. "I would have done more. I would have helped differently. Those babies deserved better from both of us." The truth hung in the air like an indictment of our whole family. The judge was an older black woman with silver hair and eyes that had seen too many broken families. She reviewed the evidence methodically. The CPS reports, the missed appointments, the assault case, Damon's stable home and employment, character witnesses from his family and church. Then she looked at Tamara. "Ms. Williams, you've shown a pattern of poor judgment, instability, and prioritizing your own wants over your children's needs. The incident with your sister, while seemingly unrelated, demonstrates a lack of impulse control and inability to consider consequences. You filmed yourself committing assault and posted it publicly, showing no remorse until facing legal consequences. Tamara was crying, mascara running. Please, Your Honor, they're my babies. I'm trying to do better. I love them. I don't doubt you love them, Ms. Williams. But love isn't enough. Children need safety, stability, and a parent who puts their needs first consistently. The judge looked at her notes. Mr. Jackson has demonstrated stability, appropriate housing, steady employment, and a support system. He's completed parenting classes and maintained sobriety. He's fought for these children. I'm their mother. Tamara screamed. You can't take my babies. Mama, tell them. Tell them I'm a good mother. But Mama sat silent, tears streaming down her face, unable to defend what the evidence had shredded. Full physical custody is awarded to Damon Jackson, effective immediately. Ms. Williams, you will have supervised visitation every other Sunday for 2 hours, contingent on you completing parenting classes, maintaining stable housing, and passing random drug tests. This arrangement will be reviewed in 1 year. The gavel fell. Tamara collapsed, sobbing. Damon closed his eyes in relief, tears on his cheeks too. And I sat in the gallery watching my sister's world end, knowing I'd helped push the first domino. The next month was silent hell. Mama stopped speaking to me entirely. Extended family members called me a traitor, a vindictive sister who destroyed a mother's life over vanity. The family group chat I'd been in since we all got smartphones went quiet. Then I noticed I'd been removed. Tamara created a social media campaign painting herself as the victim. My sister's lies took my children. She's jealous and always has been. Pray for me and my babies. Hashtag false accusations, hashtag motherhood under attack. People who didn't know the full story rallied around her. My mentions filled with hate. You're a disgrace. Those babies need their mama. I hope you never have kids of your own. Jealous, bitter, dark-skinned bitch mad her sister is prettier. That last one cut deepest because it touched on everything Tamara had always weaponized. Colorism, respectability politics. The idea that my darker skin and natural hair made me less than her lighter skin and relaxed hair. Even in destruction, she knew which wounds to reopen. Jordan came over on the worst night, finding me on my bathroom floor, scissors in hand, staring at my slowly growing hair. Don't, she said gently, taking the scissors. Don't let her make you harm yourself the way she harmed you. They hate me. Everyone hates me. Everyone who matters knows the truth. The judge saw it. TPS saw it. Damon saw it. Those babies are safe now, Nia. You did the right thing. Then why does it feel so awful? Because doing the right thing often costs everything. She sat beside me on the cold tile. But you're still standing. That's what matters. You're still here and you chose yourself for once. That's not selfish. That's survival. I learned later that Damon sent me a letter. Thank you for telling the truth. Jaden and Malia are thriving. They ask about you. I hope someday they can know their aunt who helped save them. 6 months later, I sat in my therapist's office, talking through the rubble of my family. Do you regret it? Dr. Martinez asked. I thought about Jaden's last progress report from school, all A's and improved behavior. About Malia's pediatrician visit showing healthy weight gain and no new bruises. About Tamara, who'd completed 2 weeks of parenting classes before dropping out, still posting victim narratives online. About Mama, who sent a birthday card with no note inside, just her name signed. I regret that it had to happen, I said slowly. I regret that my sister chose cruelty and couldn't choose better even for her children. I regret that my mother chose the wrong daughter to support. But do I regret telling the truth? No. Those babies are safe. That's worth being the villain in everyone's story. My hair had grown back some, a small afro I'd learned to love. Different from before but mine. Undamaged. I'd been promoted at work. Turned out not folding under family pressure showed the partners I had backbone for difficult clients. I'd started dating someone Jordan introduced me to, a kind man named Marcus. Different Marcus, not my lawyer, though that would have been a story. This Marcus was a teacher who understood complicated families and admired strength that looked like surviving, not just conquering. I'd started a blog about family trauma and boundary setting that connected me with thousands of people who'd been the scapegoat, the strong one, the one expected to endure. We shared our stories and I felt less alone. Some nights, I still cried for the sister I'd wanted Tamara to be, for the mother I'd needed Mama to be, for the family that existed only in my childhood hopes. But most days I woke up in my peaceful apartment, hair growing, heart healing, and knew I'd chosen the hardest, truest form of love. The kind that says, I love you but I love me too and I won't die to prove loyalty to people who'd let me. The family I was born into broke. But the family I was choosing, Jordan, my therapist, my new Marcus, the online community, Jaden and Malia from a distance through Damon's updates, was built on truth. And truth, I learned, was a better foundation than blood that demanded you bleed. I'd lost everything to gain myself. And some days when the grief felt lighter, I knew it was worth it. If this story touched you, please like, subscribe and share your own story in the comments. You never know who needs to hear that they're not alone, that choosing yourself isn't selfish, and that some bridges need to burn so you can stop crossing back into spaces that were never meant to hold you. Thank you for watching. Remember, you are worthy of respect even from family. Especially from family. Peace and healing to everyone walking this hard road. You're stronger than you know.